been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Bamboozled.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Bamboozled. It's your host, Smitty. Very nice to meet you guys, man. I appreciate you stopping in today. This is my very first episode, okay, you guys? So if you're here today, man, let me go ahead and let me give you an applause. Thank you for showing up. You could be anywhere, but you are here with me. Check me out, okay? Bamboozled. Now, I know y'all are wondering, who the hell is this guy, right? Who is it? Smitty. That's my cousin name. That's my boy. He was on our little rap group. It's my boy from school, Schmitty. You know what I'm talking about? But nah, my friends call me Smitty Beats. I'm down here in Texas, and I'm in Austin, Texas, actually. But guess what? I am broadcasting to the world today for the very first time. Now, look, I never want to be a podcaster. Never even thought about it. The word podcaster didn't even exist 10 years ago. Maybe that's when it started. But this is something new to me. I never thought about being a podcaster or doing a show or doing anything like this. But it's been a calling for your boy. It seems like I've been getting a calling. You know what I'm talking about? From the man above. Because I'm getting people I've never met before telling me, they like me and they like the things I talk about. Maybe I should start a podcast. I'm like, wow. Getting 3 to 4 people telling you maybe you need to start a podcast. I'm talking about people I don't know. In my job, I do things that, I'm meeting different people every day. And, I love my job. I love interacting with different types of people, the different types of, everybody, women, men from around the world. So I talked to my wife about it. I talked to my mom. I talked to people I love and was like, it looks like somebody's trying to tell me to do this. I do talk a lot. My wife always telling me one day I'm going to be president. But, President Smith, right? But I got to start somewhere. So I'm here today. I'm here today to talk my stuff, right? I need you to understand. Why am I here? Really, I don't know. I really don't know, man, why I'm here, man. Like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that a lot of the stuff that you hear is controversial nowadays, whereas, 10 years ago, nobody would have considered it that. Okay? The stuff I will be talking about in here has to do with family, and there's things that are happening in this world that we're basically being bamboozled on. You've been had. You've been took. Bamboozled. And that's the truth, man. That boy Malcolm X was speaking, he was preaching to us, dog. I need to go back and listen to these old tapes of him and other people, I wouldn't go back to when he actually hated white people and stuff like that. Because he actually grew up, went to the Mecca, and seen that there's more white people Muslims out there than he had ever seen. So he can't just hate them because of the color of their skin. And that's how I actually grew up, man. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and guess what? My friends were every race. I had Mexican homies, I had Chinese homies, I had white people that were friends. I played basketball, sports, I played football, track. I did everything. And we were all together. You know, what's going on today is crazy. You know, actually trying to divide us. And, you know, when we grew up, people would talk about what could happen in America. They'd be like, yeah, the way they destroyed America is within. They're going to have to divide us. You know, they're going to, good is going to become bad and bad is going to become evil. They've been talking about this for years. And it's crazy that a lot of this stuff is happening. They said everything going to be turned upside down. You know? And it's actually happening right in front of my eyes. Things that would used to be considered good, you know, a hero, is now turning into the enemy. You know, and it's crazy to see how they're doing it. You know, they control the media. Who's they? Back in the day, we called them the man, right? They called them the man, Uncle Tom, or you know, we didn't really trust the government when I was young. When the 70s and 80s, I was born in the 70s, late 70s, grew up in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, was in high school in the 90s. And it was all about the man, right? The man. And everybody's like, who's the man? You know? And so the man was this person, this mythological person who was holding us down, keeping black folk down, right? And I'm a kid hearing this stuff. The man, who the hell's got his foot on my neck, right? I can't go nowhere. So I'm hearing all this, and now it's called the Matrix, right? Because I realize it's not just one person, man. It's a group of people. It's a group of people, man. And it's the truth. It's the truth, man. First of all, let's talk some common sense here, okay? I'm not talking about all rich people when I talk about this, but the uber rich, right? How do you stay uber rich? How do you have generation after generation of wealth, right? First of all, you keep it in the family. These people here, they love that they will die for their family, right? They'll do anything. They're leaving everything to their families. I don't know what is going on with the people who are under them, right? They're teaching us not to love our families. They're disconnecting the family. They do not want the nuclear family under them, because this is how you control people. You separate them, right? You know what? Think about it. Your grandma, right? Your grandma was able to bring everybody together. Why? Why can't we do this, right? Grandma had a different perspective in the world. She knew family mattered. She was taught family mattered by her mother and father, right? Her last name was mattered. And it's a generational thing. You pass it on to the next person. People didn't disrespect the elders in their family, right? And guess what? The uber rich don't do that either. They don't disrespect. If they're a son, you don't disrespect your father who has given you everything, who's done everything for you, your mother who's done everything for you, created you. They don't disrespect these people. But somehow now in 2013, it's being done all the time. So this is how your grandmother is able to keep everybody together, right? It's because she had a different perspective on the world. It mattered that you had a family because you were together, right? It's like when you pray, you put your hands together. You stay together. But we're being taught a perspective in the world of family don't matter. And we're leaving our families and jumping out into the world, becoming individuals instead of having individual families. This is how we became the greatest country in the world, because as individual families, We grew and got stronger, right? People wonder how people from other countries could come here with their whole family and somehow make it. It's because they stick together. They stick together. They don't have that perspective. They realize when they come here, there's an opportunity they never had it there when they lived in their country, right? They know there's an opportunity here that they never would have. Think about it. Elon Musk. This guy comes from South Africa, even though his family is from America, right? His grandfather was a pilot, and so he flew them all out there to South Africa, and this is where he was born, right? Now, this guy comes from South Africa, comes back to America, and becomes the richest man in the world. This dude's selling Tesla after Tesla right now. This dude got a space program. Well, he's the one who jumped that thought, right? Started the AI stuff. You know, this guy is uber smart, right? And one thing he do is he recognizes his family tree. And his family. He ain't leaving his family out, I guarantee it. But guess what these other people are doing? Like we lower than him, right? We're cursing our uncles out, our aunts out, our cousins, and you know, they have changed the perspective how we as a average Joe, an average person sees the world. You know? Their kids ain't gay. I guarantee it. You know, but they would like you to be, because guess what? You're easy to be controlled. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. There's some things that are right, some things that are wrong. Period. It just is. You can't change that. You can't say, oh well, you think everything you know is right? Everything you done is right. That's what it is. No. Think about it. Okay, let's look at it like this. So when I grew up in the 80s, right? They always had things that preached to us about doing the right thing. All right. And there was a few rebels who were trying to be against what we heard, what we learned, right? I was part of that crew. And we tried to go against the grain. But they were teaching us stuff that we would never forget. Like say no to strangers, or say no to drugs, or you know, stranger danger, or the slow and steady wins the race. How about the story of the boy that cried wolf? Come on now. These were learning experiences. I actually teach this to my kids because there's no better way to learn than have a story right there for them. A good example of right and wrong. The ant and the grasshopper. Let's go. Y'all know the story, right? The grasshopper out living his life, right? It's summer. He getting it in. He going to all the grasshopper clubs, and that boy doing all the little dances. You know, he meeting all the grasshopper girls and everything. He getting it in. He sleeping with all the grasshoppers. He got all the grasshoppers. They love him, matter of fact. He see the ants over there working, and he like, dog, ant, what are you doing? You see me up? Look. I got 3 baddies right here. What are you doing? Stacking food and doing all this stuff, man. This is 100 degrees out here. You shouldn't be working like that, man. What's wrong with you? Man, there's something gotta be wrong with you, man. You see, I'm at the pool with, with my baddies, and you over here working, sweating your butt off, man. What's wrong with you, man? You's a square, right? And then here it come. Here come winter. Now, the grasshopper, this dude cold. He like, yeah, it's cold. Let me go to my girl's house, my baddie house. She dish you. You go over there. She don't let him in. He go to his other baddie house. He got 3 of them. They all say no. No, player. No, we ain't got no room for you. He ain't got a hole to jump in. And then he go to the ant house. He see the ant. He got his whole family. He with his family. They eating. They laughing, having a good time. And he freezing. And the ant having a good time. He got food. You know, they play dancing and stuff, doing the running man. Now the ant dancing. This is when he dancing. All right, he doing different. He doing the robot and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? The ant getting it in. And he see his boy in the window like, dog, I only got enough for me and my family, man. I'm sorry. Come on, man. There's a moral to the story here. There is a right and wrong way to do things in life. Okay? They used to teach us that. They don't teach it no more. They want you to go out and be the grasshopper all the time. Don't worry, somebody gonna save you. Somebody gonna save you. Yeah, have all the fun you want to. Do what you want to do. Do all the drugs. Yay! Do drugs. Do every drug there is. We used to laugh at people who did hard drugs, dog. Yeah, we smoked a little weed. We smoked weed and, drank and stuff. But if you did hard drugs, boy, you got clout. You got clout. We treated you with the least amount of respect. None. You got no respect. We would kick you in the butt, all kind of stuff. You talking about the stuff they talking about now, talking about, oh, making fun of people and all that. No. These were physical acts. You get kicked in the butt for being a crackhead. Nigga, get off of me, man. Oh, crackhead ass, man. Take your stuff and get on out of here. Come on now. And now all these kids on Percocet and every ecstasy and coke and crack and heroin and meth and the bad thing now, they got this stuff called fentanyl that they putting in every drug. They putting in everything from weed to all the other stuff I said. And kids and grown-ups are dropping like that. Because all it takes is one time. Bam. You done. And that's it. Right? So they doing y'all bad, man. They got y'all, we weren't the druggie. We always knew we had to have our mind because we were about protection, right? So we had guns. We knew people would try to get us. We were on constant, being skeptical of people because we knew anything could happen. So there's a saying, keep your friends closer and your enemies even closer. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, right? You wouldn't understand that nowadays. Y'all just wouldn't. Y'all don't get it. You don't get it. Okay? Y'all falling for everything. If you don't stand for nothing, you fall for everything. And I see it. The blind leading the blind. Y'all all following that shit. But guess what, man? Your boy is here. I've been pushed, like I said, and kind of driven to get out there and start talking some truth into people's head. I want to be like an uncle to you, man. I'm in my 40s, man. I'm not young. I might look young, I know. Yes, I might look young, but I'm in my 40s. I've been through a lot of things, okay? So I need to preach to the youth that there is a right way of doing things, okay? Another movie. I like to use movies, why not? Because movies are a great way to talk about things, right? So let's go ahead and go back in time. Let's go back in time. Let's go back in time. Okay? Back in the day, right? They had movies, right? And these movies would talk about what happened if you, would die, right? All of a sudden you would be at Heaven's Gate. And you can't believe you died. You're like, oh my God, I died and I'm in heaven. Whoa, okay, I guess I'm going to heaven, You get to the front and you say your name and they're like, stop, player. Looking over your history of your life, you were terrible. Look at this. Remember this when you did this to that girl? Oh yeah. You remember when you did this to your homie? That was cold blooded. Look what you said to your mom. Wow, you said that to your mom? You are wow. Okay. And you still hate your dad. You have animosity to some of your friends. You look like you led your life in envy. You envied a lot of people, huh? Ooh. Oh, pride. Pride. You look like you loved yourself more than a lot of other people. That's what it looked like right here. I see it. You remember the story? You know, it'll be a whole movie of relapsing of your life, right? And then the person would, and you're like, please bring me back, please. I would like to go. I'll do anything, bring me back to life, you know. And since it's a movie, they would. Since it's a movie, they would do it, right? They're okay. Send you back. Let's see if you could, try this again. Otherwise, you're going straight to hell, right? So you go back. You're an angel now, right? And you're trying to help some kid who's in high school. You don't know what to do. You're trying to teach this kid bad things. You teaching the kid is all about being cool. It's all about listening to the right music to get the girls. It's all about, yeah, you gotta fight somebody. Right? Let's be negative about everything, right? Let's to be cool to get the girl, you gotta be like this, right? And he will realize that didn't help him get to heaven. That never that never helped him. He was just doing the same things he did when he was alive, right? And then at the end of the movie, somehow he would learn to love. He would learn to love, and he would really help this kid when he really needed. He would take his own life. Hey, I will go to hell just if you save this kid. Please save this kid, man. I'm sorry. This kid is a great kid. I don't. I realize I wouldn't all that, but this kid here, he's special, man. Please, God, help this kid. I will give you my life for his. Right? And so these movies would teach you that life isn't just about having fun. Life was a test. And you're living it right now. You're living your life right now. You're right in the middle of your test. If you died tomorrow, would you be able to cross those gates? That's the question. That's the question. Right? I need y'all to think, man. I know you don't want to believe that there's a heaven, right? But one thing scientists has proved, right? This is I need y'all to check out a book. It's called Is Atheism Dead? Is Atheism Dead? Right? And this book is written by scientists. Okay? And this scientist, why he wrote this book is because in the early 2000s, a lot of people with money, they gave a lot of money to these scientists to basically prove the Bible wrong, to prove it wrong, to do everything they can to prove it wrong, get us all the facts we need so nobody will ever believe in the Bible. 5, 10 years later, the data's in. There is an astronomical amount of information to show that there is a creator. Think about it though. You walk outside. I'm in Austin, Texas. It's a beautiful city. It's hot. It's humid out here, but it's beautiful, man. There's so much beauty out here. I'm from California. Such a beautiful state from the top to the bottom. Every type of weather there, every type of scenery. Oh my God, beauty. The world, beauty. How can there be a human like yourself? If we just popped up out of nowhere, how can there be a human like yourself? And then right over there, a big ass blue whale. What the hell? A whale? We are so far apart. There's nothing that brings us together, right? That correlates us to that. A bird and a tiger, an ant and an elephant. Come on, man. Come on. You really believe all this just happened like that? That just over millions of years, all of a sudden, we all grew up into these certain species, Darwinism's theories of we came from an ape, right? That's been proven that it didn't happen. They tried to prove that right too. It's been proven that it can't be true. Check out the book, Is Atheism Dead? Why it's called that is because since it's been proven that there's a creator, how can there still be atheism? Is atheism dead? Check it out, man. It's good. It's good to continue learning as a person, as a human. You should never stop making yourself better. This is your blessing on earth. We got less than 100 years here. Come on, man. You're gonna be here less than 100 years. Make the best of it. Learn as much as you can. Do as much as you can. Go out there and explore the world. Start a family. Have kids. Keep this stuff going. Don't listen to these people to say, do what you think is right. Use your feelings. It's all about your feelings. It's all about your feelings. Feel. Guess what, man? Nobody cares about your feelings. Even the people who saying feel it. They're just using you. So because they have an agenda. They have an agenda. You want to know how do they get this agenda passed because of feelings? Well, think about it like this. This is how you make laws, right? You make laws in America by causing a problem. The problem is there's people who don't, oh, yeah, these people don't care. They don't care about black people. They're racist. We need a law right now. We need to write a law right now to condemn all white men. Not all white women, right? No, they're okay. They weren't never racist. No, they were racist too. All white men. All of just them. So then you write this law, put this law on, then bam, they make the law. Guess what? Me being a black person or a minority, I get to walk around, look at white people like, nigga, you less than me. There's a law that says, look, I am black, and you better not do nothing to me. You better not even say a word to me. What you say? You like chocolate? Dog, that's racist. Did you hear that? Hold on, let me call the police. This white guy. He told me he liked chocolate. I don't know. He eating chocolate ice cream, but I don't. Hey, he said it. I think that's racist, and you need to come get this guy. Let's go ahead and throw his ass in jail. He deserves it. Yeah, he's white old man actually. So what happens to when all these white men die off? These old white men that you be talking about. No, don't think that I'm being, like I'm just saying, oh, there's no racism out there. No, of course there's racism. Yes, there are people who think they're better than you. But guess how these people think? It's over emotion. They think they're better than you because of emotion. Emotion, they actually feel that they're better than you. And you can see those people when you walk around, man. All white people don't feel that way. Most religious white people I meet or just white people in general, they've always looked up to me. And I mean literally. If they were around my age or younger, they looked up to me. They wanted to be like me. They talked like me. They start wearing clothes like me. Start using words I did back in the day. I never felt racism like that. All I ever felt was people trying to be like me, to not mock me, but to replicate how I was and how I walked around, because I had swag. I don't know about you as a black person or a black man. Maybe you ain't got swag and nobody want to follow you and everybody called you out your name. But me, I had swag and I knew how to walk and act and talk to whoever. I didn't care who it was. I was scared of some white boy or some white man. Never. No, I did have a feeling when I was young of white people own everything and we don't own nothing. I'm going to take from white people. Her. I was mad. I was angry as a youth. So I did stupid stuff. I stole. I probably could have killed a few people if somebody would have pushed me to it. I was out there. I did some stupid stuff, right? I did some stupid, even though I was a good kid. I played basketball my whole life. I love playing. I made it to college playing basketball. So that was my dream, playing ball. Luckily I had that because I probably could have went a whole nother route being with the homies and the friends. But I had my dream, my heart for my dream was way stronger than trying to follow somebody who didn't have nothing to do in this life, right? So this is what I'm gonna be here talking about. Lies. Aren't you tired of them? Ask yourself, are you tired of the lies? They're not telling you the truth. You've been bamboozled, player or playette. Yeah. Yes. You have. You. You're being tricked right now. You know what I'm talking about? I've been doing a lot of reading. I realized I had to find out my past before I could have a great future. And I read. I dug deep. I looked at both sides of the aisle. I looked at the left. I looked at the right. Even though I was a Democrat my whole life, basically, until I got a certain age, till I had children, till I had a daughter. As soon as I started thinking about my daughter, I realized I had to not, I couldn't think for myself no more. And one thing about being a Democrat is it's all about yourself. They say they want to help other people, right? But that feeling you get for helping other people, that's for you. You think you're doing it because you're trying to help somebody, right? You're like, oh, they need help. Black people need help because these white old men are against you. And that makes them feel better. That's why they're doing it. It makes them feel better. That's a selfish way of living, right? When I had a daughter, all of a sudden I had to think about her. Wait a minute. So you're trying to tell me that you want to teach my kid 2 plus 2 could be 5? Nah, player. Nah. Nah, man. I wouldn't talk like that. Nah, we're not gonna teach my daughter that shit. Those are lies. Those are lies. Okay? And that's what they want to teach you. They want to teach you lies instead of learning the uncomfortable truth about things. Ain't nothing gold. Ain't nothing perfect. Ain't nothing in this world 100%. Ain't nothing. Maybe 99, but not 100. Ain't nothing happen 100% of the time. And this is what they want you to believe when you listen to the media. They want you to believe 100% all white people hate you. All straight people hate gay people. All Republicans hate Democrats. All men hate women. Come on now. I walk around these streets every day. I told you I got a job where I meet people all the time. Look at my black. This is a lot of chocolate. I know the light shining on me. I look real good like this. But I'm a chocolate person. Pretty dark skinned, right? And still, I would say I had a way more great experience than negative of my life. Now, I'm not saying they aren't racist people. Because, yeah, I had a few cops out there who will pull me over for nothing just because, I was black. Also, I didn't know how to keep insurance, so maybe they knew that. I don't know. I would also fabricate registration. I was also selling drugs. I was also selling whatever. I was doing a lot of dirt, and I really, really would be jumpy around cops. I just was because I was doing too much dirt. I remember when I stopped selling and doing all that stuff, it was always a relief because I knew I wasn't doing nothing. And I'd be like, "What you pull? Why you pulling me over? Look, I ain't doing nothing." You know? Come on. Like, look, I'm a good look. I ain't doing nothing. Can't tell me I'm doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. Yeah, check my car. I ain't doing nothing. You know. But when you actually stop doing all the dirt, this is when you realize that, wait a minute, I don't even get pulled over. I'm not even scared of the cops because I got all my insurance together, my registration good. So when I realized that majority of cops were pulling me over because I was driving, and that's how they get most people actually. And if I just wasn't doing dirt, I would have never got in trouble. Man, it hit you hard, man. You got to grow up, man. You have to grow up, man. You got to change your perspective on life, okay? Now, what I want to do here, there's a video, okay? There's a video that I want to show, and it's about perspective. Now, listen, this video is crazy. Okay, it was basically they was interviewing this guy from Russia, and he wanted to talk about perspective and how Russians used that against us, how they were able to change the perspective in America to a more negative way of seeing life, and this is how they were able to control us, control and change the fabric of our country. How when I was young, things were way, way easier. I remember when I was a kid, there were less people who wanted to be rebels. They just were. Matter of fact, rap and rock and roll, nobody liked that shit. There wasn't no fans to rap, and yeah, there were fans that's like us, but they weren't the world wasn't, in love with rock and roll or rap. These were rebels who said, I don't care what you guys think. I like making music this way, and I'm going to make it this way. Okay? This is what rap was all about. Rap was about being a rebel, not thinking like everybody else and doing the same things as the government tells you to do. Rap was against the government. Now all of a sudden, all the rappers want to be next to the president. What the hell is this? Like the president really cares about you. Optics. It's about changing your perspective. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and throw this video on, man, and we're going to talk about it. Okay? All right, here we go. All right. Let's get this going. Let's see here.
Americans don't fully understand. When the Soviets use the phrase ideological subversion, what do they mean by it?
Ideological subversion is to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interest of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. It's a great brainwashing process which goes very slow.
Wait a minute. Did y'all hear that? They were able to change our perspective even about our families. You remember when I just talked about your grandma? How she was able to keep us together because she had a different perspective of the world, and how we are not? Come on now. I'm not preaching this to preach, man. They got people out here who are trying to really control you. They're doing it by controlling the perspective. You have to understand, man, this ain't no joke. This ain't games. Okay? Now let me keep this going here, man. Let's keep this going. Let's see.
Process which goes very slow. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Marxist-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism. And
is being pumped in our brains. 3 generations. They're just stuffing this stuff in our brain. How do we go from one of the safest countries to one of the most dangerous countries? They say we got the most prisoners in jail out of every country in the world. Why is that? Because we got movies out here trying to show you how to do this stuff. They got movies talking about Ocean's 11, how to go rob. They got movies of how to treat, how to become a Mac. How to treat women, call them bitches and all this stuff, right? Hoes and all this, right? They got movies that everything, right? Books, all this stuff out here. Propaganda. All this stuff. We thought it was just entertainment and a new way of seeing the world, right? You just like, when I was growing up, we just thought it was a new way of seeing the world. We learned something our parents didn't know, right? That's what they wanted us to believe. So what's going on is, whereas when I grew as a young kid, there were way more people who were happier. There wasn't no negativity out there. They were happy. The glass was half full, not half empty. You have to understand what's going on here, man. They're teaching us to say it's half empty. They want you to be negative. Negative. That's how you breed depression. You're not depressed if you're happy. Nobody's depressed when they're happy. You're depressed because you're sad. You think it's the end of the world. You're scared you're about to die. All this kind of stuff. You're not ain't taking care of your kids. It's you over your kids. Come on now. Come on. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this going, because there's some good stuff.
Without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism. And you can see it quite clearly. The influence of Marxist-Leninist ideas in the United States is absolutely fantastic. The demoralization process in the United States is basically completed already. The result you can see. Most of the people who graduated in the 60s, dropouts or half-baked intellectuals, are now occupying the positions of power in the government, civil service, business, mass media, educational system. You are stuck with them. You cannot get rid of them. They are contaminated. They are programmed to think and react to certain stimuli in a certain pattern. Not even Comrade Andropov and all his experts would even dream of such a tremendous success. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union.
Even when I bombard him with facts and truth, he wouldn't believe it. Emotion. They've done this through emotion. By pushing feelings in you never thought you even had. Now you live your life like this. Angry and mad and holding all this stuff in. You really think that's a good way of living? They basically changed the fabric of America, where before people were way more optimistic and had hope for the future. They actually believed in God. When you believe in God, there's hope. You don't feel the depression of thinking you're about to die and that's it. And you're just gone. It's all black. Right? That there's a beautiful place you can go to after death if you pass that test, right? Let's keep this going, man.
Even if I shower him with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, Even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union and show him concentration camp, he will refuse to believe it. When a military boot crashes his balls, then he will understand. Most of the American politicians, media, and educational system trains another generation of people who think they are living at a peacetime. False. The United States is in the state of war, undeclared total war against the basic principles and the foundations of this system.
Wow. Did you know you was at war? Did you know? You had no idea. These people are fighting a war that you don't even know you in. Because you're a pawn. You've been played. You've been bamboozled. Think about it. There's going to be some people here. I just showed you the video. The dude is spitting straight facts to you. What they did to America. And you ain't going to believe it. You're going to steady do the same exact stuff you always did because it makes you feel good. It's no longer about honor, duty to your family, respect of your parents and your family name. Me and my mom get in arguments, but I respect her till I die. I'll be there the very next day. We can argue about something stupid and we right back there. I can't go I can never leave my mom. My cousins. We've been best friends since kids. I listen to some people and they talk about their family. And they don't even kick it with their family. They don't know nobody. They don't kick it with their cousins. They don't kick it with their brothers, their sisters. They don't even go back to see their mom or dad. You know? They're basically an individual out in this world thinking they got it. Thinking their little 100 years of life is all they need. They got it. Instead of using the length of their family tree to grow on, to build on. Come on, man. I showed you the video right in front of your face. What they're doing to you. Don't dismiss what you just heard. Rewind this video, go back and listen to it again. The dude is telling you facts. He's telling you what they did to us. They literally think they got you. We are already demoralized. Most people right now don't even believe in God. That's exactly how they pushed it. Shoot. They say they control the media. They say they control the schools. They control all the famous people. And these the ones y'all look up to the most. Let's go now. Politicians. That's all who else they said. Politicians. Come on, man. We got a politician. Look, this is not going to be about politics. But we got somebody in our White House right now. Can barely speak. But somehow, we voted this man in. Now, everything has changed. Let's go through the list. Inflation. World War III. Food is going up. And I'm not just talking about steaks. I'm talking about chickens, eggs. Come on, man. You know why they said black people always love chicken? Because it was cheap. We all had chickens on our land and property. Now all of a sudden, eggs is damn near $7. Because their chickens aren't laying eggs, they say. Come on. Why is this all happening all at the same time? Housing crisis. Houses are way too expensive for us. Rental properties. Way too expensive. Boy, I wouldn't be able to rent something back in the day when I first started getting out, when I first got an apartment. Let me tell you, man, just 15 years ago, 15, 16 years ago, man, I got a one-bedroom apartment for $435. It had a washer and dryer unit in the unit. This apartment had all the amenities. Yes, this is in Texas. $435. Come on now. And I remember thinking that was a lot of money back then too. Boy, 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 boy. I think that same place around close to $1,500, maybe $1,600, some crazy amount. You know, gas. I remember when gas hit $1 out of high school. Out of high school is $1. Come on now, what is going on? We need to stop believing these people, man. They're sitting here lying to you and changing the perspective of how you see the world. You should believe in God. Then you wouldn't trust these people more. You go by honor. People who tell you the truth. And you could tell the difference because with truth, you can actually see it. Okay? It's not just lies. You can't prove lies, but you can definitely prove the truth. It's always out there. So, this episode was basically only about perspective. I need y'all to understand that your perspective creates your reality. More women right now believe they don't need a man. So if your perspective is you don't need a man, guess what happens in your reality? You don't have one. Real talk. They have changed that. That wasn't the perspective when I was a kid. I still met a lot of women virgins back in the day. When I went to college, they still had women virgins. Now I heard this 1 in 3 men from the ages of 18 to 30 are virgins or haven't had sex in a year. No wonder why these girls don't want these men. These dudes don't know how to even get you. And since now women have more, since they have way more of a choice, they're going after best men. They only want men 6 foot and up. They only want men 6 figures. They see these girls in OnlyFans and they think that's actually a career. Yes, they're making money, but it ain't a career. But their perspective, they think it is. A woman won't even call out another woman who's out here being so promiscuous and having sex with over 100 men, and that is okay. Shh. You think a man wants to marry you? You over here still thinking you could get a husband after you done slept with 100 men. No, you've become a man yourself. No man wants to marry a man. You've been with too many men. You become a man. Men love innocence. We see women as angels. We think y'all would never do bad. This is why we let y'all go with a lot of shit. This is why y'all are able to get away with a lot of stuff. Because we see y'all as angels. We see y'all as never doing anything wrong. And when you do something wrong, it's kind of like how kids are. How kids are. Yeah, young kids, toddlers. Something they weren't supposed to do. You're like, oh, well, you're a kid, you're going to grow up, We said the same thing about women. Oh, well, you're a woman, you just don't understand, or you don't get it. You don't see reality. We let you go. Okay? So you have to understand the perspective is being changed in America right now. Okay? I will be coming back, coming more up here with more videos. I'm gonna be having interviews. And I hope that you like this video, man. If you can, please like, subscribe to my channel, Bamboozled. And I'm gonna be coming out with more stuff. I really, really appreciate y'all for being here, man. My show, I'm thinking it's gonna be in between 45 to, an hour long. I have a whole family I love being with, so this kind of takes away from that, but I do it while before they get out of school. I'm able to get off of work, get an hour in, do this, and, still be able to be with my family. It's a great feeling, but I never knew it was gonna be like this, having a family. I was a true player. I'm not gonna lie. I was a womanizer. I got out there and slept with a lot of women, and it wasn't easy. I mean, it wasn't. Well, at first it was a whole lot. It wasn't easy because girls actually, treated their selves as actual treasures, right? They were feminine, but they treated themselves as a treasure. They didn't just give away the gold, right? Now, woo, woo. I'm not gonna lie. One thing my mom used to tell my cousin when we were young, right? No man is gonna buy the cow if the milk is for free. And now that I'm older, I didn't understand that as a kid. I remember I look at her like, what the hell she just say? What my mom just say? Looking at my cousin like, mom is going crazy again, right? I didn't understand it. Now as a grown ass man, I understand it clearly because that's exactly the truth. Why buy the cow? I'm getting milk for free. I got strawberry milk over here. We got chocolate milk over here. Italian milk. We got domestic milk. We getting milk all over the place for the free ski. You tell me why the hell I'm gonna buy a cow. This girl over here want to give it to me for the low. Literally. So that's a different perspective from back in the day. Girls actually felt they were the prize, as in like a man would do things for them. And guess what? We would. We would jump in front of a bullet for that woman. For you women now who are more manly, y'all think y'all are superwoman. Why would Superman jump in front of a bullet for Superwoman, in front of Superwoman? Superwoman got it? She said she got it? See how y'all don't make sense? A man wants to be Superman. The man would jump off of a boat and let you survive. The woman and kids live. Let me tell you how it is now, because y'all have changed your perspective. It hasn't just changed for women, it changed for men too. I'm sitting there talking to one of these guys here, these modern men, and I was talking about this, and I asked him, I said, so would you jump off a boat? Would you let your girlfriend, if he had a girlfriend and a daughter, I said, would you let your girlfriend and your daughter survive and you have to jump off the boat? He said, nah, we'll have to talk about it. See what y'all got to deal with now? Yeah, this is what y'all created, okay? Okay? The dude said that, yes. Yeah, he had an argument with me. I just let him talk. He argued me down. Oh, you wouldn't do that? Oh, I remember we was talking about, also said, so if you and your wife are upstairs and y'all hear something downstairs, aren't you the one who gonna go downstairs to see what's going on? He said, no, we both are. I said, you gonna actually send her downstairs, but what about the kids? What about your daughter? Oh no, we're gonna keep her in the room and we both gonna go down. I said, but there's only one gun. Well, maybe she knows how to shoot better than I do. Maybe she's a better shot. So you talking about getting her, and you would rather her be in danger instead of get away and you actually take care of the danger. She could be better at it than me. I don't know. This is what y'all have created. Y'all have opened up Pandora's box, and this is what's going on. They've changed the perspective even for men, and this is why y'all women don't want to be with these men. And a lot of these men don't want to be with you women because of this. My program is going to be about family and how to keep families together. So I will be talking more about this, okay? I just appreciate you guys, man. This was a lot of fun. My very first episode, Bamboozled. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, here go y'all applause for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, you know what? I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you next time on Bamboozled.
I see it again. You've been had. You've been took.